Look, everyone keeps telling me the exact same thing about Columbus. You're going to get outbid, you can't win here, you're going to lose in Columbus. And for about 3 years straight, that was absolutely true. But something has fundamentally shifted in the market, and honestly, no one's actually talking about this thing. For the first time since the pandemic, the buyers actually have a window here. Buyers like yourself. So today we're breaking down what's actually happening in Columbus. Not just the headlines, not just the horror stories, not just the news, but an actual perspective, an anecdote from someone who's actively selling homes left and right. What's up, everybody? It's Gagan here, your favorite realtor in my new setup. We've got my teleprompter, we've got my desk, and I'm super excited to make sure that you are gonna learn everything about the city. I wanna talk to you about one main thing first, and that's this right here. What you notice, especially when you start driving around Columbus right now, is very, very apparent. Pick any direction in the city. We're talking New Albany, Delaware County, towards Marysville. They're all the same. One main component in all of this, new construction. New constructions, they're going up every single place, and honestly, it feels like there's a new builder every other day. Framings, foundations, whole streets that weren't here last year. And honestly, that picture, it should tell you exactly where the market is right now. Because while everyone is fighting over perfect move-in ready homes, the supply, it's quietly shifted. You see, for years, the demand in Columbus was absolutely rambunctious. You put a home on the market on Thursday, and by Saturday, you've had multiple offers, and you, as a buyer, you lose. That's changing because right now, homes for sale across Central Ohio are in the double digits compared to just a year alone. New listings, they keep coming up, and months worth of supply, it keeps going up every single month. Now, look, I want to be very, very clear, especially as I'm looking at the data right here. We're still in a tight market. We're sitting right now around that 2 months worth of supply, and a balanced market is anywhere from 4 to 6. But if we compare what 2 months looks like compared to having absolutely nothing, that's a real change. And it's changing the entire dynamic of how people are pricing their homes, the offers that are coming, and ultimately what it means for you. Because now if you are selling, your competition isn't that new listing that came on the market 2 minutes away, or this new home that's coming here and your neighbors love it. It's actually that new construction build with new rate buy downs, upgraded finishes, and every incentive that the builder can throw at them. We actually had a seller on the north side of Columbus, I'm not gonna name where, and they were really interested in selling their property, but when we came to figure out the numbers, it just didn't make sense, especially for this year. New construction was going up left and right. And if there's one thing that you need to know about new construction, homes actually depreciate in value for the first couple of years, especially without the trees. But I'll be honest with you, it was a nice home and we were going to list it at a very, very fair price. But the builder down the street, rate buy downs, insane closing cost incentives, and something that we just couldn't compete with right now. And honestly, that's a really, really tough spot to be in because most people that have purchased homes are anywhere in the 3 to 4% interest rates. Why would you move unless you have to? And now it's more difficult to sell, especially with the higher rates and competing with buildings. But for buyers right now, that same wave of chaos actually means more choices, more time to think, and more room to actually negotiate. We have people that reach out to us talking about buying a home all over Columbus, whether you're in California, whether you're in Washington, whether you're in Texas. And the best part about it is right now, our buyers actually have more options. You can actually negotiate and get something at an amazing discount. So you're probably thinking to yourself, Gagan, is this the right time for me personally? And if that question is sitting in the back of your head, you would want to reach out. Let's figure out your specific situation, what works for you and your timeline to make sure we have the best answer possible. Because very, very transparently, for some people, it's not a good time to buy right now. You want to make sure that that's not you and you have all your questions answered. If you are curious, again, all of our contact information is down below and pinned to the top of the comments as well. Feel free to reach out to us on Instagram as well. All those links are in the description. Now, one key component that we're looking for with our buyers when we're looking to write an offer is days on market. And it's the most important metric that I think as a professional real estate agent for your property. Days on market will single-handedly either get you the most amount of offers, including bidding wars, or get you nothing. And here's what I mean. Days on market indicates one major thing, interest. If something's been sitting on the market for over 75 days, no one's interested. If something has been sitting on the market for maybe 2 or 3 and you've had multiple showings and a couple of offers, whoa, now they're interested. But the entire dichotomy of the situation right now is that days on market is a major leading indication that no one wants to buy, but not necessarily the quality of the house. And here's what I mean. A couple of years back, days on market meant the house sucked. As simple as that. It was a bad house. But now days on market can mean 100 different things. It can mean the house quality is poor. It can mean the neighborhood is one that not many people want to live in. It can mean the school district isn't up there. It can mean that the house itself is simply overpriced. It can mean hundreds of different things, and understanding which variable it's coming to play is imperative. Homes that have been sitting on the market a little bit longer can honestly make or break a deal for you as a buyer. Now, what we've noticed, especially historically, right? Because I can't necessarily tell you where to live. That's considered redlining, and we can't do that. I can only give you data, especially anecdotes from our clients. And a lot of our clients, they are looking in that Westerville, that Dublin, that Powell area. In close proximity to certain districts, well, those homes are selling. Those homes are still going under contract for under 2 weeks. But an overpriced listing in a slower pocket, forget about it. Same city, same area code, two completely different realities. It's crazy. Now, a lot of people that are living in Columbus also happen to watch this channel. Hi. One key thing, when I talk about days on market, especially with our sellers, they hear one thing, and this is wrong: crash. The market is going to shambles, and that's not true. It just simply means that the buyers are taking a little bit longer to figure out and justify whether that price point is worth it. Because let's be transparent, in the last 5 years, home prices have nearly doubled. Affordability is through the roof, and people that are buying a home now are more meticulous and careful than anything else. Now, if you're a buyer, I applaud you. You want to get the best deal possible. If you're a seller, you want to maximize profits. And those two things have completely different strategies, utterly and completely. And if your agent can't help justify which one is right or where to go, it may be time to give our team a call. But that's besides the point. Let's move on. One of the most important numbers is this. It's not list price. It's not days on market. It's monthly cost. So many buyers absolutely love the home. They're enamored by the neighborhood. They love the coffee shops, but then they forget about a few things because PITI includes these three bad boys that we don't really want to talk about. Obviously, you have the principal, right? The actual payment on the property, the mortgage, but you also have interest, taxes, insurance. A lot of new build communities also have HOA fees. Some of them have mud fees. You're gonna have to pay a certain percentage if you're living in Dublin, in the city of Columbus. Taxes suck, let's be honest, they're terrible, but they're also very existent, and we have to be transparent about the pricing because not only are you purchasing the property, you're purchasing the monthly payment. And honestly, I wish more people talked about that. I wish more agents mentioned that to their clients, because the last thing that you want is to be on that closing table. This is how much we're paying. Gotta have that conversation. I want to give you guys an update because in 2023, Franklin County did a full reappraisal, and the home values, they jumped up an average about 43%. Now, that's a huge deal because your property taxes, they're going to jump up with it. However, this part matters. Ohio has a law called House Bill 920 that keeps your taxes from rising dollar for dollar with your value. So a 43% value jump doesn't mean a 43% increase in taxes. But the bills still went up, and there's a real monthly cost associated with all these things that buyers tend to underestimate way too much. Actually just went through another value update this year, and the county's residents are saying their property value went up about 9%. This is, let's be honest, in 2027, it's gonna hit the bill. On top of that, insurance keeps rising as well. So not only is the monthly payment going to be high because the home value is expensive, but your interest is going to be high because the market and the mortgage rates are crazy. And combine that with insurance, it's going up, taxes, it's a lot. And if I'm gonna be honest, it's why I love my job. Because so many people think that we just sell homes, and I completely disagree. We help one of the most tremendous financial decisions of your life, and we get to be a part of it. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm honored, and it's exciting, but right now is not an easy time to buy a home. And I don't care, any realtor that tells you that it is lying to you. We help clients that are purchasing $10 million in land to clients that are buying a $300,000, $400,000 first-time home. It's a difficult process all around, but you don't need to do it alone. If you have any questions, or if you're nervous, or you're like, hey, I know I'm gonna make a move regardless, can I just ask a favor? Just between friends. Will you give our team a call? Will you shoot us a text? If you have any questions, all of our contact information is down below. And again, I hate pitching, like it's not a pitch. It's like, I love what I do. And I hope that you can tell that I love what I do because my team's really good at our jobs. And I'd love the opportunity to show you exactly why. Our goal is to get you the property that you want, the terms that you want, the price that you want. Let's do it together. The biggest mistakes that I'm seeing people make right now is thinking that Columbus just has one market. No, it actually has 3 submarkets on it. We have the affordability, which is those homes between $200,000 and $500,000. I know, right? $500,000. That's the affordable price range. Those homes, they're the realistic options for a lot of people. In a city where the median price range is growing more and more, they want to buy it. So depending on that property, depending on that location, they're getting a ton of demand. And that demand is real and it's consistent. But if we move up to a quote unquote higher echelon of price point, that changes quickly because the buyer pool here, it's getting smaller. I'm looking at the data right here. Those buyers are more picky. They're not going to overpay for dated finishes, deferred maintenance, or bad layouts. They've got more options because either they're going cash or they have the finances to get a mortgage. So if you do have a property around that $500,000 to maybe $750,000 range, you want to make sure that that property has its stuff together. And that $500,000 to $700,000 range is when you're seeing most of that negotiation power as well. In fact, when we have buyers that are looking at that $450,000, we actually tell them, let's look at $550,000 and see if we can negotiate down. So throw a couple of Hail Marys. You never know in today's market, it's crazy. And then I have what I call the esteemed market or the luxury market, that $750,000 to about $4 million. Because you're never really gonna see a property go above $4 million unless it has a ton of units or it's a spectacular home. Those homes are sitting at the bare minimum about 60 to 90 days. I know this because I run a small media page called the Columbus Report. And within that, we have a lot of clients that are looking at that price range. Most of the homes that we're sending them, it's sitting for a while. And that's okay, because again, that has the smallest buying pool. If you are looking at that, give us a call. But especially within that, if you're a seller, you have to be very, very cognizant about how you present that house. And if you're a buyer, you have a ton of options, but probably won't have as many units available as well. So you want to play that catch-22 game as carefully as you can. Now let's forget about the county-wide breakdown, because I want to talk to you about specific things. The number that actually matters isn't the metro-wide median, it's where you're buying in Columbus, whether it's inside the 270, whether it's outside the 270, whether it's in a specific pocket, whether it's not in those pockets. If we look in the urban core, starting with downtown, the urban core, the older neighborhoods right around the city, there's a ton of inventory here. There's more older stock homes, demand's a little bit softer than the actual suburbs, which means that if you are buying in these areas, you're hunting for leverage. I'll give you a perfect story. We actually just helped a client of ours that was buying a $200,000 property. They were moving here all the way from Michigan, right? And it was an arduous, long, tedious process. But we got it done. And we got them an amazing deal that I can't share with you, but they were happy. If you are looking in these areas, it's imperative that you understand that you have leverage. But when we move a little bit out, if we shift to the suburbs in the quote unquote strong school districts, again, all of our data according to niche.com, right? You're going to find a few things, especially in areas like Dublin, New Albany, Westerville, Powell, Hilliard, and Pickerington. There's a totally different game here. This is where competition still is. I'm looking at the homes available right now, and there's not as much for a certain demographic. Right now, scarcity is driving those markets. Everyone wants to be in these districts and everyone wants to commute, but there's just not enough of it. A great house here will still move fast and still get multiple offers. But here's the catch behind all this. Sellers here have one main competition that people in the urban core don't. And if you're thinking about selling your home, write this down. New builds. New build competitions, the buy downs, the incentives, the move-in rates. There's a lot in the suburbs and there's more competition for the seller. So if your price or your condition of the property is off even just a little bit, the buyer is going to go to the new house instead. You don't get to coast just because you're in a good area or you have a good school district. And then if we push this out a lot, we're talking Delaware, Union, Madison, Licking, and Fairfield. This is where growth and availability intertwine. And it's kind of on fire because what we're seeing more than anything else is a lot of opportunities here. People are getting priced out of the core and finding that they can get more homes and more lands here. Now, again, with the catch-22 being that this used to be far out, people just don't care. Sales in some of these outer countries, 20 to 30% up year over year. The gap between these three markets, it's widening now more than ever, and the buyers who understand this are the ones that are finding the best opportunities. Here's something quietly shifting that a lot of people haven't picked up on. Investments. The amount of investors that give us a call, I love all of you guys, and please keep calling us. But the numbers for the longest time, they didn't make sense. Now they are. Columbus is a fantastic investment market. That statement I can say with certainty. The university, the jobs, the population growth, it's all here. In fact, we helped a client of ours buy a $350,000 house and he had instant $50,000 equity. The point being, there's more and more options here. And if you have any questions about the market at all, give our team a call. Buying a home, selling a home today, it's not easy, but it's also not impossible. Now, if you're still wondering about the Columbus market and what it's doing in specific areas, watch this video right here. As always, it's Gagan, your favorite realtor, signing off.